Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, the government shutdown hits day 7 and pensions are rising. President Trump hints at layoffs and even withholding back pay for furloughed workers. Plus, Governor Whitmer has officially signed the state budget into law, and the DNR is asking hunters to report feral pig sightings. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
All right, a first look at your forecast. We finally see some 30s on these temperatures, but this is where we should be, so don't be alarmed. We have some 32, 31s out to Ironwood and Iron River, but this could get even colder. We could even see some 20s in the late hours of tonight, and we will warm things up for tomorrow. We'll have the sunshine, but we'll have seasonal temperatures right where we should be into the mid-50s. We'll talk more about the frost advisories and the freeze warnings and take a sneak peek at your weekend in just a few minutes.
Kelly, thank you very much. It's been one full week since the government shutdown began, and Republicans and Democrats remain at a standoff. Today, President Trump suggested some of the furloughed workers may be denied back pay once the shutdown ends, and also said that if the government doesn't reopen soon, layoffs are imminent. Erica Brown has the latest tonight.
President Trump suggested Tuesday that some of the more than 700,000 furloughed workers could be denied back pay once the shutdown ends.
It really depends on who you're talking about, but for the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way.
CBS News has learned the White House's Office of Management and Budget is circulating a draft memo suggesting federal employees may not be entitled to back pay, despite a 2019 law signed by President Trump after the last government shutdown.
Congress, on both sides of the aisle, should take a stand against denying pay entitled to furloughed workers.
I believe it's a strategic mistake to now let those folks know or let them think that they could potentially not get back pay.
The president also said Tuesday he will be announcing layoffs within the next 4 or 5 days if the shutdown continues.
A lot of those jobs will never come back.
On Capitol Hill, lawmakers remained deadlocked over health care. Democrats want an extension to Affordable Care Act subsidies, but Republicans insist the shutdown should end first.
Democrats remain ready to seriously negotiate with Republicans to address the health care crisis and get out of the Republican shutdown.
The consequences for the American people are very real, and this just has to stop.
The shutdown is also impacting air travel nationwide, with several airports reporting staffing shortages as a result of some air traffic controllers calling out sick.
That's the way they have to protest, right? They have no other way to show that it's hurting not just them, but us.
The staffing shortages are resulting in flight delays.
Early this afternoon, Governor Whitmer signed Michigan's new state budget into law. Behind closed doors, House and Senate leaders finalized the deal after weeks of negotiation. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy has more on Republican priorities moving forward.
The 2026 fiscal year budget is an $81 billion bipartisan plan that funds free breakfast and lunch for students and invests in local road repairs. But lawmakers say the real win is in the details.
That's the way this budget is structured, is not only did we make cuts this year and we eliminated over $1 billion, next year the trajectory we're on is going to require even more cuts.
Hall says GOP leaders pushed to reduce earmark spending from over $1 billion last year to just $168 million in the new plan. The Senate has now agreed to the House's transparency process, and Republicans want to make it permanent.
Next year and all future years, there will be much more transparency on the secret pork spending. Much better than what we saw this year.
Hall says now that the budget is passed, House Republicans are focused on cutting funding for the state's corporate grant programs, including the SOAR fund used to attract new business investment. He says his top 2 priorities are creating a new SOAR fund with more requirements and solidifying the budget transparency process.
We were just at a standstill for a very long time over transparency of the pork spending, and the Democrats' unwillingness to implement HEAT and to make earmarks transparent.
Hall says if they expect to pass next year's budget any earlier, they need to begin work on the next round of spending cuts projected for future budgets before the end of the year. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
The DNR is asking hunters to look out for wild pigs and report their locations to authorities. In a forum about bovine tuberculosis earlier today, DNR researchers say feral hogs are known to carry bovine tuberculosis, which can be a threat to livestock, wildlife, and possibly humans. Bovine TB is found mostly in deer populations in the northeastern part of the state. However, with a growing wild pig population, the spread of the disease is possible in other areas.
But we do ask that question on every harvest report. Have you seen sign of or feral swine? And so that's to help us just get that information across the state. You know, we get thousands and thousands of those harvest reports in, and it's a great way for us to get a snapshot.
There have been reports of feral pigs causing damages to farms in northeastern Wisconsin. Lyme disease rates are rising nationwide, with the CDC reporting ER visits for tick bites hit their highest level in years over the summer. Cardiologists are warning of a serious heart complication that can occur after contracting Lyme disease. Natalie Brand shares one man's story.
Go, 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 go. Delaware State University track and field coach Stephen Kimes is back in action after being sidelined for nearly 2 years.
I was healthy. I'm out coaching, moving around all the time. I played basketball, pickup games, whatever. And then all of a sudden, you can't lift your arms up above your head and you're stiff, or you can't move your legs.
Mysterious symptoms that started in early 2024, ranging from joint pain, light sensitivity, fatigue, and eventually shortness of breath.
I felt like I was being stabbed. It was just the worst pain ever, being stabbed with like a knife.
Doctors discovered fluid and inflammation around his heart. Weeks later, testing revealed Lyme disease caused it all.
We do see a little bit of scar still around the heart. And
Kimes has no idea when or where a tick bit him.
Just breathe normally.
Kimes ended up transferring his care to Dr. Wakas Hayter, the director of pericardial disease at MedStar Health's hospitals in Washington.
Most people will not even relate a tick bite to anything going on with the heart.
Dr. Hayter says while extremely rare, heart complications related to Lyme disease can be potentially life-threatening if not caught early.
We don't add two and two together that a tick bite on your ankle can lead to any complications of the heart, or it happens months and months later that most people will not connect the dots.
What do you want people to know about your story?
I want people to not be afraid to go to the doctor if you're not feeling right.
While the disease took away precious time from his work and family, Kimes says it also taught him not to take life or health for granted.
Kelly Rowland has our first warning weather forecast when we come back. Plus, libraries across the country are observing Banned Books Week. We hear more from an Ishpeming librarian when we come back.
Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back. We have just been all over the place in terms of temperatures over the last week. Last week we were breaking record high temperatures, and now we are seeing frost advisories and freeze warnings, but I guess that's October in the Upper Peninsula for you. Today, 60 degrees, that average is 56, so definitely not close to that record of 84 into 2007. We're not going to see 70s, we're not going to see 80s. Not really going to see a lot of 60s either. We're settling into seasonal temperatures into the 50s, and especially these overnight lows we have to watch out for. Tonight specifically, very soon we have this going into effect. Frost advisories in the blue, freeze warning is in the purple. So into Wisconsin and this area of the pink right here, that's that better chance of frost happening in these overnight hours. So if you have any plants, if you're laying down right now and you realize you left one of your plants outside that would benefit from being brought inside, make sure to go do that. They would like to stay warm as well. You did such a good job watering your plants all summer. If they can stay alive, why not keep them alive just a little bit longer? But we do have that freeze warning, so specifically for that, inland temperatures could get as low as 24 degrees, and for those in that frost advisory, still about 33 degrees. So sub-freezing was that purple area, the freeze warning. And this is for midnight, so very soon into 10 in the morning. So make sure as you're sending the kiddos out to the bus stop tomorrow morning, they have plenty of layers on. It's not just the plants we're worried about, it's also us. We need to start settling back into that cold mindset. I don't even want to say winter. It's not winter, it's still fall, but we have some frost and some freeze to worry about. This also impacts you leaf peepers out there. It kind of mutes these vibrant colors, especially for places that aren't quite at their peak yet. It's going to kind of stop its potential of showing those bright of colors if we keep this stretch of very cold nights and really dry and sunny days. It'll kind of make the leaves more dry. They'll fall off sooner. We won't get as vibrant of colors. So if you have a chance to go see some fall foliage this weekend, this might be the perfect weekend to do so before we are past that peak. But this is a look at your first warning weather futurecast. Not all too exciting at this very moment. We'll start to get some rain back into the forecast for Friday. So we're nice and clear until then. I'm just advancing the time and you're seeing cloud cover advance. So that's what I'll continue to track for you locally until we get to some rain for Friday. But we are also keeping an eye all the way down into this is San Juan, the Greater Lesser Antilles that you see over here with Tropical Storm Jerry. This is forecasted to even strengthen possibly to a Category 2 hurricane. You can kind of see that switch as early as Friday afternoon. We have tropical storm watches in effect for that area. The only thing that we're going to continue to talk about through the week too is right behind it, trailing it, is a big plume of Saharan dust. So we'll see how they interact. It could cut off the fuel. We'll keep you updated on it. But back here locally, we know it's going to be a cold night, cold start to your mornings for the next few days. We'll get some showers just ahead of the weekend, but we clear it up beautifully. Your holiday weekend, Columbus Day, is this Monday. We have lower 60s, mid 60s. So this isn't actually seasonal. It's a bit warmer than we should be, and we'll carry it in pretty much into next week.
Kelly, thanks again. Banned books are being recognized across the nation this week. WZMQ's Andrew Hands has the details about how libraries are observing Banned Books Week.
Celebrating the freedoms of literature, it's the grounds that are stood upon throughout the week, recognizing banned books and the importance of protecting the right to read freely. But what exactly does it mean for a book to be banned? Nicole Johnson is a librarian at the Ishpeming Carnegie Public Library.
So essentially when a title is banned or challenged, it doesn't mean that it's gone or like you don't have access to it. It can be a particular classroom or a particular school district that no longer has the title readily available, or even in some cases we have seen public libraries pull titles.
Common themes in a majority of these books include stories surrounding LGBTQ communities, mature content, or social justice. In 2024, over 2,000 titles were challenged or banned.
Some people feel like the themes or material is too mature to be in there, whereas we just want to have things that are available for anyone, and it's up to the parent to decide. Whereas we're a public library, we just have the materials on the shelves, and they can decide what's for them and what's not.
In recent years, book banning has become more and more common. The library says that displaying these books started as a fun learning experience, but now has taken a more serious tone.
Censorship has been on the rise for the last few years more than ever. Books are being pulled off the shelves, and there's soft censorship going on, which means that you don't always know what's happening. So it's very important to recognize it now that this is happening today.
This year's Banned Book Week has a theme: titled Censorship is So 1984, Read for Your Rights. Libraries across the nation are using this week to make sure all books can be available for
everybody. Everybody has a different point of view, and our goal is to just make sure that there's something for everybody to find on the shelf.
Reporting in Ishpeming, Andrew Hands, WZMQ 19 News.
With the holiday shopping season just around the corner, Amazon is holding its second Prime Sales event of the year today and tomorrow. Amazon says Prime Big Deal Days includes millions of items, many with double-digit discounts. Observers say the online retail giant's own private labels are playing a big part.
You have things ranging from 70% off, especially for Amazon products. They are really taking advantage of their private labels to give consumers that big discount. So you see things like the Amazon Echo Buds or the Amazon Fire Tablet with up to 50 to 70% off listed price. And again, that's because it is their private label, right, which gives them that extra flexibility.
According to Adobe, overall U.S. online sales are forecast to surpass $253 billion this holiday season. That's up more than 5% from last year. Amazon rivals Walmart and Target both plan sales promotions in the days ahead. It's Sober October for some Americans choosing not to drink alcohol this month. Surveys show Generation Z is leading a movement of drinking less or even not imbibing at all. That's shaping travel destinations around the world, which are catering to those who want to enjoy bars and restaurants without alcohol. Wendy Gillette explores the trend.
Deepa Lakshman travels to far-flung destinations like Norway, India, and Belize for her job as director of social media at Lonely Planet. She also does it sober, choosing to stop drinking just over 3 years ago.
Cutting out alcohol has done more for my mental health than 5 years of therapy.
She sees firsthand a thirst for more non-alcoholic options around the world.
I think the industry is only growing.
In Niagara-on-the-Lake in Ontario, Canada, there's no shortage of spots to drink. Ice wine in an igloo at Peller Estates or sips in the vineyards at Chateau des Charmes and Bellaterra. But at Vineland Estates Winery, non-alcoholic wines from Germany make up about 10% of sales.
People are looking at their health, they're thinking about drinking less, but they don't want to give up wine altogether.
A 200-plant garden at the nearby restaurant Pearl Morissette provides plenty of options for a non-alcoholic pairing of the tasting menu. There are mocktails on the menu inside 124 on Queen Hotel and Spa, where we stayed for a special rate. And in neighboring Niagara Falls, restaurants overlooking the thundering Horseshoe Falls like Table Rock House and Prime Steakhouse also offer several non-alcoholic cocktails. In Healdsburg, California, there's even a mocktail trail, pairing with tapas at the restaurant Brava's and as complex as the Real Deal at Little Saint and Lo and Behold Bar and Kitchen.
There's a whole community of people that don't imbibe that should get to enjoy that experience too.
At McRosty Winery, teas are an option to team with caviar instead of vino. And in town, LaRouche serves up tastings of honey from 12 countries.
The trend is also found in the U.S. cities synonymous with beer, Milwaukee. Here at Lakefront Brewery, they're serving up several types of non-alcoholic craft beers.
There was an interest from a lot of people to have another alternative to alcohol and one that tastes just as good.
At Indeed Brewing, there's a non-alcoholic lager on tap and THC seltzers. An agency cocktail bar has a non-alcoholic version of every drink on the menu, so all can join the party.
Mike Ludlam has our sports highlights when we come back. He'll tell us what happened tonight between Manistee and Negaunee Volleyball. We're back in 2 minutes.
Greetings and salutations, Earth creatures. I wish I could do a better imitation of Marvin the Martian. You make me very angry indeed. It's not there.
You're crazy, Mike.
Good evening, everyone. The Detroit Tigers bats could not come through for Tarek Skubal in the second game of the American League Divisional Series against Seattle. Game 3 was tonight at Comerica Park, where the Mariners and Tigers have a win apiece in the best-of-5 series. Pick up the action in inning number 3. J.P. Crawford is in the batter's box, and he is going to single to left field. Riley Green will throw to the plate after Victor Robles stumbles. Somehow the ball gets away. Somehow Green's charged with an error, and the Mariners take a 1-0 lead. They would add another to make it 2-0. Oh dear, Jack Flaherty knows that look in the fourth. Eugenio Suarez with a solo home run, and the Mariners are now up 3-0. Move to the top of the sixth. The Tigers scored on an RBI grounder. And Mr. Crawford is at it again, this time to right field, a solo shot, and that made it 5-1. Tiger relievers not having much better luck in this contest. Go to the top of the ninth, and the American League home run hitting champion Cal Raleigh sends this one over the left center field fence. That made it 8-1. Well, the big dumper had a pretty good night in this one. Bottom of the ninth, Tigers bats finally start clicking just a little bit. Spencer Torkelson will be fair down the first base line. Jake Rogers would score, so does Jahmai Jones on the 2-run double. The Tigers would add one more to get within 8-4, but that's as close as they would get. Mariners take it by the 8-4, lead the series 2-1. Game 4 is tomorrow afternoon in Detroit. The NMU and Michigan Tech volleyball teams both have 4-game winning streaks. That will change Thursday when the two teams meet in Houghton. NMU head coach Mike Lozier was quickly learning about new Tech head coach Cindy Pindrell.
I know just from watching the film, they start on the opposite side than they used to. So even that, I think, will be kind of weird, like when we get there early, sitting on the other bench. They've had some injuries, so they've been moving players around. Their right side, who's really been a Wildcat killer, is now on the outside. So she's going to get more sets, but it's a different angle, so it could create a different look. Their setter, they were running a 6-2, so they were running with 2 setters, and now they're only running with 1 setter at the moment. Tess Hayes, who's phenomenal, and so we're going to have to, slow her down.
Prepping specifically for Northern, it's such a fun match. Any way you shake it, regardless of records or personnel or whoever, just that rivalry is always so much fun. Both teams always show up with a ton of school pride and just, fun competitiveness. It's hard to have expectations going into the match because you never know what's going to get thrown at you or what the situation's going to be. We've played matches where one team has gone on a 7 or 8 point run, and then you think you got it in the bag, and then the possession changes, and then the other team goes back on that run, and then all of a sudden you're tied again.
First serve Thursday night at the SDC Gym is set for a little after 6 o'clock. Both teams visit Purdue Northwest this weekend. The Wildcats on Saturday, the Huskies on Sunday. Turning to high school volleyball, the Manistee Emeralds visited the Negaunee Miners this evening. First set action, Kendall Floden, Ashlyn Jones, Maya Carlson for the kill. And Manistee's on the board, but Negaunee leads 2-1. Miners go on a little bit of a run. Lilia Mason to Eliana Park. Miners keep it in play. The next thing you know, Isla Engstrom with the kill. Maize and Blue up 5-1. Again for Negaunee, Lilia Mason will get the ball over to Eliana Park, and Harper Kumpala for the kill, and Nagani is up 7-2. And Nagani keeps the run going as much as possible. Izzy Francisco serves the overpass. Boom. Well, that wasn't a boom. That was a tap by Kira Waterman. That made it 8-2 Nagani. Timeout, Amy Nixon and the Emeralds. After the timeout, Aaliyah Sears, Ashlyn Jones to Kira Carlson. That one's going to be good. Manistee still trails 8-3. More Maids in Blue. It will be Engstrom to Priya Mori to Lilia Mason for the kill. 14-4 Nagani. They took this first set 25-9. The second 25-10. Emeralds bounced back to take the third, but the Miners took the fourth to win the match 3-1. Over in the Copper Country, Houghton visiting Calumet. Calumet is on the left. On the first set, Ellie Haino tries to put one down, but Grace Keranen is there for the roof, and Calumet has a 4-0 lead. Millie Locust with the serve. Houghton's overpass goes directly to Bailey Strom, and that one's put away. 5-0 Calumet, and an early timeout for the Gremlins. For Houghton, once after the timeout, Katia Rudek, Alyssa Northey to Ellie Hainold for the kill. Orange and Black reduced the deficit to 5-2. Grace Keranen serving for Calumet. J.C. Sleeman of Houghton can't get a good swing. And Chloe Capo with the easy roof to make it 8-4. The sets were tight, but Calumet won all three, 25-23, 25-23, and 25-20 to win the match, 3-0. Volleyball scoreboard, North Dickinson over Rapid River, 3-0. Mia Nordstrom had 17 kills for Jefferson, a 3-1 win over Ewan Trout Creek. Hancock 3, Gwynn 0. Cassie Olsen had 11 kills for Kingsford, defeating Iron Mountain 3-0. Trust me, that's what it really should say. Lakeland and Hubble over Lance 3-0. Dollar Bay takes care of Ironwood. That was a 3-0 one as well. Stevenson wins over Mid-Peninsula. Escanaba over Bark River Harris 3-1. Marquette a tight one over Gladstone 3-2. Ontonagon over Bessemer 3-0. And Brimley edges Rudyard 3-2. And we will be right back.
And welcome back. A final look at your forecast. We have some chilly temperatures on the way. This might not excite you, but I know there's someone watching that's really excited to get into this cold stretch that we're going to get into, at least for the next few days. But for tonight, we'll see some lower 30s in there. We'll stay fairly mild for the Newberry and the eastern half, but we do have a freeze warning in the purple there, and the blue is that frost advisory that goes into effect starting at midnight, stretches all the way through until 10 in the morning. Make sure you bundle up appropriately for tomorrow morning. Have the layers. We will see some sunshine for tomorrow. We'll see temperatures into the mid 50s, some upper 50s as well. This is very calm and very seasonal. This is where we should be for an October 7th of a day. The rain outlook, we do stay very low chance of rain. We'll start to track that next best rainmaker will come Friday, but then even at that, will beautifully dry things out just in time for your holiday weekend. So make sure you get those plans in place. We might have a few scattered showers for Columbus Day, stretching into this upcoming Tuesday.
Kelly, thank you very much again. And Mike, I know you have a little bit more for us tonight.
Just a little tidbit for you. The Upper Peninsula Tennis Coaches Association has announced its girls all-stars for the 2025 season. Kingsford's Aubrey Moore in the far court has been named the Division I Player of the Year. Moore defeated Negauni's Lily Saunders 6-2 and 6-1 in the first singles final last Wednesday. Both players were named first-team All-State singles players in D1. Negauni's Claire O'Donnell and Nicole Kirkland in the near court, plus Escanaba's Aubrey Elliott and Brooklyn Hackelman in the far court, have been named first-team All-State in doubles as well. For more on the UP All-Stars, you can go to our website at WZMQ19.com.
Mike, thank you very much. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you back here again tomorrow.